me bring in Jay Sai Deepak. Jay Sai Deepak, what's really going on here? Why? I'm asking you this question. How will the ecosystem's most vocal voices explain the siege of a temple in Birmingham and the unprovoked and dire warnings issued to the Hindu community? Will they continue to call this Hindutva extremism? It's a fundamental question.
See, what I think is happening is an organized attack against the Hindu community across the globe. And this, I think, is much more important because at the end of the day, I don't expect people like Mr. Danish Qureshi to speak the truth. Because even when Pakistani Muslims are involved, his first instinct was to defend his community as opposed to people who are the victims. And therefore, this, according to me, is the Ummah syndrome at work. Iska koi upachar nahi hai. Is rog ka koi upachar bilkul bhi nahi hai. Because this has been going on for centuries now, not decades. Two, his opening statement was, because a mosque was attacked, the temple was attacked in response. The premise of that entire position, which was supposedly factual, has turned out to be factually inaccurate. Two, he then went on to justify why the attack on the Hindu place of worship was completely, let's say, a reaction, so to speak. This is the nature of the argument. I do not expect anybody sharing this particular mindset to ever speak the truth, ever. That's never going to happen. I have no such hopes. I'm only looking at solutions. What is the solution? One, while I agree with the statement made by the Hindu gentleman from UK with respect to what he said about Hindu community's innate peaceful nature and all that, perhaps you should stop calling yourself pacifists and shed this entire skin of a sheep, because sheep are ultimately meant to be slaughtered, and that's where we are moving towards. And this is not limited to one particular area. Hindus are not safe in Bharat. Hindus are not safe in America. Hindus are not safe in United Kingdom. Hindus are not safe in Europe. Hindus are not safe in Australia. This much is very, very clear. Now, in terms of solution, here's what I would propose. Hindus are not safe in Bangladesh as well. The Indian state, which has deemed it necessary to come out with the CAA because it believes that Bharat happens to be the homeland, the natural homeland of Hindus, and that seems to be the position, must take the lead here and must assert itself to protect those people who belong to communities that are native to Bharat. And that means the accusation that has just been heard by Mr. Qureshi that Hindus now operate not from Nagpur but from Tel Aviv, I would say we might as well validate that particular accusation and therefore come out with a policy where Hindus are looked after by the Indian state regardless of the citizenship that they enjoy and regardless of the place they live in. Because otherwise you're global orphans. You need to come out with a response mechanism where the Indian state is the first state to rush to the rescue of Hindus. If that does not happen, you don't have the wherewithal, at least on the street, to respond to these hoodlums. Look at the gall and the guts of this community in that particular place, the group, so to speak, which chooses to climb on the boundary in full public view with the police watching, and then all sorts of vulgar symbols are being flashed and displayed. This is an open threat, and this is let's say, the gauntlet has been thrown. If you do not respond in some way, then you will face the very same situation that the Jews of Europe faced before the Second World War. That process has already started. This particular mindset has a problem with two communities, the Yahud and the Hunud, meaning the Jew and the Hindu. Anti-Semitic attacks over the last decade have risen both in America as well as in Europe. And that has gone hand in hand with changing demography. Now, what is the changed demography and what is the altered demography? I will leave it for your viewers to understand and infer. The Indian state has a responsibility now. The state, which is currently accused of being the Hindutva fascist state, so to speak, might as well make its detractors sound right, and it might as well prove its detractors right, because you've tried desperately to prove them wrong. You're not getting any brownie points at the end of the day. You're not winning their sympathies at the end of the day. You might as well protect the people who you're accused of protecting. And this is not wrong, because you're not going about a genocidal campaign. You're trying to protect people who are currently facing genocidal hatred across the world. Well, using your platform, I would beseech the Honorable Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi, to take up this particular issue and at least speak about it through Mann Ki Baat or some other platform at least once. This I would certainly urge the Prime Minister to do, because I genuinely hope that there is still some hope left from the Indian state under this particular dispensation. I hope this comes true.